And y'all, please stop leaving these children unattended in these parks, because the shit that I just witnessed is diabolical, to say the least. And I don't know if this technically counts as neglect, or I came to this park to walk my dog, right? And the park is divided into 4 different sections. There's a skate park, a baseball field, the playground, and then a dog park. Now, I didn't take Honey there because the dog park was just musty and crusty and rusty. So we stayed in the playground where the children play. And I see that there's like a small group of children. It was like 4 or 5 little kids, no younger than 5, but no older than 10. And there's like no adults around. These kids are sitting here by themselves. So I felt the need to be responsible for these young kids because there's no one else around, right? So like, I was watching them from a distance, not on some creep shit. I was just keeping my eye on them to make sure that no creeps come up to these kids and try to snatch them up, because no one else is watching them. So I'm sitting at the park with Honey and I let him run around the playground. The kids are playing with Honey. I'm sitting here just watching him and scrolling on my phone. Anyway, I start looking around and I see that there's a car parked like off like to the back. And I'm like, okay, this must be the car that these kids belong to, because there's nobody else here but me and them. And I'm like looking at the car, but y'all, I'm blind as fuck, which is why I wear glasses. But I'm looking like trying to see if I see anybody in the car. It was like 2 women like rolling up and sparking up. So since I seen them, I was like, okay, let me just do like another small lap around the park with my dog. But like, I can still see the kids from a distance. So like, if anybody was to come up to them and be weird, like I could always like, I keep a taser on me at all times. I could just come taser the fuck out of them, right? So I do a small lap around with Honey. By the time I make it back to the playground, these kids is sliding down the pole. So like, you know, like the big metal slides, right? They're held up by metal poles. So I see the 2 little girls sliding down the pole, and then the 2 little boys are just standing there. And I didn't think this was weird or anything, because at this age that these girls are, they're probably not doing it with like I don't think they were doing it like with seductive intentions. Because when I was 6, me and my friends used to slide down those metal poles, and one time I fell and I hurt my back, and my PE teacher actually rubbed my back and told me not to tell my mom about it. But that's a whole different story, y'all. Now that I'm grown, I realize that bitch was weird for telling me not to tell my mom. That bitch was weird for rubbing my back and telling me not to tell my mom. But anyway, so these little girls are like sliding down the pole, and they keep going up the steps and sliding back down the pole. And I'm like, okay, they're just playing around, until I noticed that the 2 little boys, they were like throwing mulch at them. But like, it definitely looked like they were throwing dollar bills, you know what I'm saying? So like, they were just like throwing mulch, and the girls were like going down the pole and shit, and they were like throwing the mulch. So now I was like, oh hell nah, like they seen this somewhere. They know what the fuck they're doing. Well, they don't, but they do. Right then and there, I felt like I should have went up to the car and like been like, hey, these your kids? Cause they wilding right now. They wilding. But I was like, damn, I don't want to do that, because what if these people really don't know these kids? Like, what if they have nothing to do with each other? But then I was like, fuck it. There's nobody else in this park. These people got to be responsible for these kids. So I'll go up to their car and I go like this. Like, you know, I didn't want to like knock on their window for real, because that's fucking obnoxious. But I was like, hey. And so one of the girls on the passenger seat, she opened up the door. And like, at this point, they were no longer smoking. I just see that they were scrolling on their phone. But when they opened the door, like obviously a whole bunch of the smoke and the smell of the heavenly lettuce, it was like coming out the car. So the one lady that opened up the door, she was like mad hostile, kind of like looking at me crazy. Like, I would look at me crazy too, because I'm a fucking stranger at a park. But I had to let them know, like, if these your kids, they acting funky as fuck. So I'm like, hey, I just wanted to ask you if those are your children over there. And then I know I probably shouldn't have done this, but I was like, if you want me to watch them, I could keep an eye on them while you sit here and scroll on your phone. Bitch, when I tell you, I should have never said that. I should have never said that. The bitch got so fucking mad. She said, first of all, I'm not scrolling on my phone. I'm taking care of business. Like that TikTok sound. I swear to God, she sounded just like that. She was like, I'm not scrolling on my phone. I'm taking care of business. My bad. My bad. Like, I get it. I'm being a little intrusive right now. But when it comes to kids, this is a very sick world. I was just trying to make sure they were straight. Mind you, right? They both like face deep in their phones. So I'm thinking they just scrolling. But it was taking care of business. Whatever. So I'm sitting here and I'm about to put the leash on my puppy so we can take a final lap so we can bounce. And then I heard that bitch say some crazy shit as I was walking away. Oh, this bitch, she got the audacity to come up to my car talking about my kids. I'm just trying to make this money so I can feed my kids. Blah, 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 blah. It was your choice to pop out 4 kids that you knew you had to feed every single day, but I'm not even gonna get into that. And the crazy part is that I really wasn't being weird. I really did want to just keep an eye out on her kids so that they could scroll or do whatever the fuck they were doing on their phones. I just want to make sure somebody was watching these kids, because they fucking playing Midnight Ballerina, and y'all don't even know that they're doing this. These kids were obviously exposed to some stripper shit, because how the fuck do these boys know to do this with the mulch and the girl sliding down a pole? So the other girl, the one that was sitting on the passenger seat, she comes out the car and she comes up to the playground where the kids are at, right? She smacked the shit out of one of the little boys. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was said. I just know she smacked the fuck out of him. So I'm doing my final lap with Honey, and she comes up to me, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to get slapped next. I'm about to get slapped next, y'all. Oh my God. But nah, she comes up to me, and crazy, like oddly enough, she was like, I'm so sorry about my fiance. She could have a little bit of an attitude problem. We really just trying to apply for jobs and government assistance and stuff like that. So she was telling me like she's about to get married. They're about to get married, and those are her kids. Like the lady was telling me those are the other lady's kids, but they've been together for a little minute. So like they want to be a family basically, which love that for y'all. So she's sitting there and she's just telling me like, yeah, you know, we've been together X amount of years. She just has a little bit of an attitude problem because like she used to be a dancer, but then after her last baby, blah 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 blah, that's when it clicked. Okay, she used to be a dancer, so obviously these kids have been exposed to some shit, right? But I'm just sitting here listening. I'm not judging, I'm not talking back, I'm just listening, because sometimes people just need an ear, you know. Sometimes people just need an ear. You know, she's talking to me and everything, and she's telling me how she was trying to apply for government assistance, the lights was about to get cut off, all this shit. So I'm just like, it's okay, trust me, I get it. And that's when like it hit me. That's when I put her on to the app that I've been using to make money on my phone. I was like, look, I've been using this app called Pay Me. It's on the App Store. If you have an iPhone, you can download. If you have an Android, I don't know, because I don't have an Android, boo-boo. I don't have that. But I was like, it's on the App Store, you can download it. You look for class action lawsuits, you file for them. They pay out anywhere from like $50 to $500. It's stuff on there like fucking Apple, iTunes, fucking Starbucks, Grubhub, all these things that we use on a daily basis that we don't know we're getting sued for any reason. They're on there. I said, go on the app, you can file for these lawsuits, they pay you out. Normally it takes like a month or two, but it's better to start now than to be in a pickle 2 months from today and like not have that extra money. I told her how much money I'd be making on there. It really comes clutch for situations like these. So I got her phone, I showed her how to download it. She was very appreciative, and then I told her, I was like, look, the kids were like playing inappropriately. At least I saw it like inappropriately, and now that you told me that your girl was a dancer, like I see like where it's coming from, but I just wanted to let you know they were simulating a Midnight Ballerina. You know what I'm saying? Like the girls were sliding down the pole and the boys was throwing mulch, acting like it was money. Just thought you should know. And then she said the craziest thing. She was like, yeah, I just slapped the shit out of him because this is not the first time I told him to stop playing like that. Okay, so they do this often. Okay. Well, anyway, me and Honey got in my car, and we left. Now I'm gonna take him to the pet supermarket because they have like a wash station where you can take your dogs, and I'm about to go in there and bathe him because he is so dirty, y'all. He ran around the playground and he got so dirty. So yeah, that's what we're about to go do. Just keep an eye on your fucking kids, man. Oh, and like the late great Michael Jackson said, if you can't feed your baby, then don't have a baby.